Let's speak to political activist Khaled Saffuri, who's in Washington, D.C. Good to have you with us, Khaled. At that same Security Council meeting, the Israeli UN envoy, Danon, said the Palestinians weren't serious about peace. He said he knew that because Mahmoud Abbas hasn't even bothered to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu for the past 10 years. What do you make of that?
Yeah, first, thank you for having me. The Israelis are master manipulative, and this is not the first time. They will hit you with a big stick, and then they complain they are the victims. The Palestinians have been trying to reach peace with Israel for many, many years. Since 1993, the Oslo Agreement was signed. But since Netanyahu came to power, he started reversing and creating new realities on the ground. And of course, it's very difficult for Abu Mazen to go meet with him while he keep appropriating and stealing land, Palestinian land, to build new settlements and taking steps in the opposite of the agreements that were signed before. So Israelis will do the bad deed and then complain about the others reacting negatively to meeting with them.
There was intended to be a vote on a resolution, wasn't there, rejecting the Middle East plan at the UN Security Council today. It didn't happen because the Palestinians were worried they wouldn't get the number of votes they needed on that resolution. Does that mean they don't have enough support in their rejection of this plan?
I think the main problem, the Palestinians could not get even united Arab front behind them. The Arab group that usually are represented by one in the Security Council could not even, under pressure from the US and from the Trump administration, everyone knows the Saudis, Egyptians, Emiratis, and Bahrainis, it's not only they cannot say no to Trump and his administration, they abide by their orders. And they sabotage any attempt to get a resolution passed. So if you don't get even the Arab countries on board with you, it's almost impossible to get any resolution passed. And this is what happened. The Palestinians, the US first threatened a veto 2-3 days ago, so they had to water down the resolution, even though in the new form, after watering it down, still the Americans said no, and then therefore the Arab alliance with the Americans it sabotaged it, pressed the Palestinians not to push for it, and then they couldn't get enough votes anyway.
We're waiting for Mahmoud Abbas to deliver a press conference. It's interesting that he's also going to be joined in that press conference by a former Israeli Prime Minister, Ehud Olmert, who is apparently the closest Prime Minister. He came the closest to making a deal with the Palestinians. What do you make of that, and how much impact will Ehud Olmert's appearance have alongside Mahmoud Abbas?
This is a testimony that even the Israeli side that worked on the peace process think that this agreement is not workable. There's actually a proof that the Palestinian complaints have Israeli witness to it. So anyone that cares about peace knows that this agreement that this administration presented is not a ground for any peace. In the future, it's not a workable agreement, and it's a big insult to the Palestinians, and it will create in reality an apartheid.
Khaled, good to speak with you. Thank you very much indeed for your analysis there. Khaled Saffuri in Washington, D.C.